Well, hello stamping friends and welcome back to my blog. Today we're going to go ahead and make this adorable little Frankenstein box to hold a little special treat for your little goblins, and let me go ahead and get started. Now to make the box you need to start with a piece of 6x8 cardstock. Today I am using Old Olive, and once you get that cardstock cut to 6x8 we're going to go ahead and score it. On the long sides you're going to come in 1 inch, score it here 1 inch and here 1 inch. Okay, then you want to turn it, and on the short sides come in 3 1/4 inches, score, 3 1/4 and score. Okay, so now once you've got those all scored, we're going to go ahead and use our bone folder to give it a nice, firm, crisp crease so that box stands up nice and straight for you. And you want to do that on all the score marks. Okay. Now, that's what it should look like. You want to go ahead and grab your paper snips, and we're going to cut the center tab right up to that 1 inch score mark. So one there, and one on the other side, and 2. Okay, so at this point, this is what the box should be looking like. Okay, now we're going to go ahead and start assembling this using sticky strip. I wouldn't recommend using snail adhesive because I just don't think it's strong enough to hold it. We don't want your box to pop apart on you. Oops, okay, I'll just trim that off. My piece is a little bit too big. Okay, so we're going to put a piece on the right side of this folded up tab. I'm going to peel that off. Okay, stick that up like that. Whoops, it stuck to my hand. Okay, and now we're going to turn it this way and we're going to put 2 long strips on the 2 remaining tabs. Okay, so one here, and if it's a little long like that, we just snip it off, no problem. Okay, and then one on the other side, and one here. Okay, and we're just going to go ahead and peel that apart and assemble the box. Alrighty, so now that is the basic construction of the box. Now let's go ahead and make him into a cute little Frankenstein. Now as you know, I love sponging, so I've got a 1/4 piece of our stamping sponge, and I'm going to go ahead and start doing the edges. And I got to tell you that my fingernails truly aren't dirty. I just actually got a manicure last week, but because I've been making these boxes, I got this black ink under my fingernails, and I have been scrubbing them like a mad woman, but they still won't come off, so just so you know. Alrighty, so my box is scored and sponged, so now we're ready to go ahead and start assembling the cute little face. The first thing I did is cut a piece of basic black cardstock. I just measured the front of my box, and it's 4 inches wide, so I did 4 by 1 1/2 inches, and I simply took my scissors and cut it freehand into this jagged pattern to make his hair. So I'm going to go ahead and use my snail adhesive for this, and go ahead and give Frankie some hair. Okay, cute. And now I'm going to go ahead and use my basic black Stampin' Right marker, and I love these because you've got the nub tip and you've got the brush tip. That's good for coloring right on your stamps or coloring in your image, but we want to draw his mouth, so I'm going to do that freehand also, and I'm just going to draw kind of a jagged W, and I'm just going to put a little stitch marks right along his mouth. Okay, so we've got his mouth. Now we're going to go ahead and start punching out some circles to make the eyes. Alright, so first we're going to need our 3/4 inch circle punch, and we need 2 whisper white circles. Okay, and then we need 2 basic black circles using the 1/2 inch punch. Okay, put the other side for a second. So now I'm just going to adhere the basic black circles right inside the whisper white to make his eyes. Okay, and now I'm going to go ahead and glue these right onto the box. I like to do the hair and the smile before I do the eyes. That helps me with proportion, like, you know, so I know exactly where my eyes and my nose needs to go. And I did it a little bit off-centered because I also want to add another scar in there. Because let's face it, it is Frankenstein, right? Okay, so his eyeballs are good. And now we're going to go ahead and make his eyelids. And for the eyelids, we're going to use the 3/4 inch circle punch. Okay, and actually we need 2 of these because we're going to use actually a piece of another one for his nose. So the 3/4 inch circle punch, you can go ahead and just cut that in half and grab your black sponge. And I think this is where the problem started with my nails turning black because this is a really small piece. All right, so I'm going to sponge that one. And this one. All right, and then we're going to use some Stampin' Dimensionals, and I just kind of cut little pieces of them because you don't need a whole one, you just need a little piece of one because these are a little bit too big for a whole dimensional. So I'm going to just stick a half of one on there and put this right on his eyeball. So there's one. Isn't he cute? And now the other one. Okay. Oops, come on, there we go. And stick this other one on there for his eyelids. Okay, now we're going to do his nose, and again for the nose you're going to take the 3/4 inch again, cut it in half, and sponge that a little bit. Alright, and let's see, this one might be a little bit, oh that's perfect size actually. Whoopsie daisy. Okay, so another little piece of a dimensional. And I'll put on his nose. Whoopsie daisy. I keep saying whoopsie daisy. I'm all fingers today. Okay, so my box pretty much is done. We just need to go ahead and add the handle. Oh, I forgot I wanted to add the scars, right? So let's see. To do the scars, I'm just going to take my marker again and I'm going to draw a little squiggle on the side of his face and add a couple of little over there and maybe another one right over here. There. Good. Now for the handle, I just used a 1 inch by 8.5 inch piece of old olive, and I already sponged the edges. And now I'm going to take a piece of basic black Rogaine ribbon, and I'm just going to add a little bit of a snail adhesive on the ribbon, okay, and stick that right on the handle, and flip it over and just glue it down on the other side. Okay, and now we're just going to add a little bit of sticky strip on both pieces on the ends and stick it right inside the box. Oopsie daisy. I wonder how many times I've said oopsie daisy during this video. Probably a lot. Okay. Alright, so now we're just going to take this, yep, and we're going to stick this right on the inside, and then one on the other side. Okay. Definitely use sticky strip on the handle. You don't want to use snail because it'll definitely pop off when you get some treats in there. Alright, so look at how cute he is. Isn't that sweet? And the last thing we want to do is add some shred on the inside, and I make my own shred because who wants to buy it when you've got all these wonderful Stampin' Up! Colors laying around in scraps? I just cut little tiny sliver pieces from my leftover scrap, crumple them up, and then just stick that right in the box. And look at how cute that is. Now your shred will always match your project. Isn't he sweet? The next video will be the same box but the mini version, so I hope you'll join me for that as well. Thanks for coming by. Hope you have a great Halloween, and I look forward to stamping with you again real soon.